How can you win in today's property market? Watch more and find out. We are in a very unusual property market at the moment. Landlords are being absolutely battered right, left and centre by consecutive governments now. Loads more tax to pay, loads more regulations. So what are they doing? Some of them are getting out of the market. But how does that help you? Well, it means houses like this, these starter homes around the Narborough Road area of Leicester and all of the other starter home type properties suddenly become a little bit more affordable for you because less landlords are buying them and some landlords are selling them off. So like I say, I'm down just off Narborough Road, Leicester's rental hotbed. There's more rental property around here by a million miles compared to owner-occupier property. Why is that? What's happened around this area to drive that massive rental demand? Well, immigration has been very, very high around here over the last 10 to 15 years. People from all over the world have migrated into this location to open businesses, work in the hospitals, work in the universities, go to the universities. There's just a lot of economic benefits for people to move into this area from other areas of the country and other countries in general. So that boomed the rental population in this particular area. Now, contrary to popular belief, Leicester City Council aren't daft. So what they've done over the last few years is they've made it a little bit trickier to rent property out around this particular location. First thing they did was they brought in the Article 4 directive, which meant it was very, very tricky to convert existing houses into other HMOs, houses of multiple occupancy, which meant you couldn't just buy a terrace house, divide it up, and then have lots and lots of different people living in there as easily as you used to be able to. What they then did was they brought in a selective license. So you now need a license to rent houses out around Narborough Road and other areas of the city, even if you just rented to a family, which means the house has to be up to a certain standard. It has to have certain electric, certain gas, certain stair treads in. It's really, really pernickety in parts. And some of the older terraced houses, it would have cost an absolute fortune to get those up to standard. So for the first time in a long time, I'm seeing first-time buyers buying this sort of property again, these 2 and 3 bed terraced houses. A, because they're a bit more affordable. B, they give great access to the local communities that they're looking for. And C, they're seeing what could be coming and what opportunities there might be in this location, that they may become a bit more owner-occupier again, as opposed to just rental hotbeds that they are at the moment. So will this change of buyer change the location? It could. I've dealt with some absolutely horrific tenants and the issues that they bring as well. Now, 99% of tenants are absolutely lovely and totally fine, but you're always going to hear about that 1%. So getting tenants out when they've been difficult can be very, very tricky. It's not an easy process at all. We sometimes have to get solicitors involved. The worst one I've heard of recently, council put the tenants in there. The tenants then refused to move out and stop paying rent, but the council weren't responsible for them because they were paying the rent directly to the landlord. They stopped paying, absolutely destroyed the house, and it took nearly 14 months to get them out. There was then a £25,000 renovation bill for that property before the landlord just went, you know what, I don't fancy this anymore, it's got to go. So if you're looking to buy a property like this, there is a lot of opportunity out there at the minute, as I've mentioned. But what about if you're looking to sell a property? So you've had tenants in, or you've got tenants in, and you're thinking, do you know what, John? I've had enough. It's got to go. What are my options? Let's go through those now. I'll start from worst to best. So first option, sell it with the tenant in. It's a frigging nightmare. One, they're not bothered whether you sell your house or not, the tenants. They're usually not that helpful because why would they be? They don't want the house sold. They probably don't want to change landlord. They don't want the rent to go up. They don't want to be kicked out. They're quite happy tickling along as they are. And if you've not had them on the right rent, which you probably haven't, have you, you buggers, for a long time, then what incentive is there really for them to help out? So that's the trickiest way to sell, unless you do it at auction. If you do it at auction, absolutely fine, because then it's like hammer down, job done, that's it, as long as they allow viewings to take place, which they're not always great at doing that, tenants. Next one is you serve the tenant notice and you sell it as they're moving, because then you keep your rental income coming in and hopefully you then complete on the sale not long after they move out, so you don't lose much income. You can't have the best of both worlds, I'm afraid. it's not that much different to option one. You're turfing the tenant out, so they're probably not your best friend anyway. So again, they're not usually that helpful in allowing access. So for me, best way to sell it is this final option, but you do have to suck it up. You're probably going to lose a few pennies. Get the tenants out, then put it up for sale straight away. If you need to do any little bits of work to it, then do it, but don't go bonkers. It's the best way because it just gives the easiest access to the property. It's empty, it's ready to go, people can see what they're dealing with. So that for me is normally the best way to sell a rental property. But you are going to lose out on the rental income for a period of time whilst the property goes through, and potentially you've got your mortgage to pay for as well. You need to work out whether it's going to be worth the extra money you're going to potentially get to the property, because you open it up to a wider market, because you're looking at first-time buyers, owner occupiers and investors that could buy it instead of just investors. And investors at the moment, as I've just said, they're not buying loads because of all the extra bits and bobs they've got to deal with at the minute. Ultimately, whichever option you decide on when selling a property, make it a swift process. Do not hang about. Think long and hard before rejecting an offer on the property that's reasonable. It may not be exactly what you want, but is it reasonable? The reason I say that is I've seen time and time again where, let's say a house is on the market for 150, they get an offer of 143, they reject. In a market like this, there's not stacks and stacks of buyers out there. 3 weeks later, we're at 139 and they accept and think, we could have got a little bit more a few weeks ago. Why didn't I take it? There's an old saying, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. If you get an offer in this current market, you should take a big consideration before making the decision to reject that offer, because what you've got there and then might be the best that you can get. As always, thanks very much for watching this video today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful and beneficial for you, whether you're looking to buy or you're looking to sell in this maybe entry level of the marketplace. I'm going to shoot off now. I'm stood right under some scaffolding. I don't think it's going to fall down on me, but have a great one. I'll catch you up soon. I'm just going to interrupt this video for a moment to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Please hit subscribe and like on this video. That would be absolutely amazing. I want to grow the channel. I want to get more information out to people to help them buy and sell in the Leicester area. And if you can help me do that just a little bit, that would be absolutely amazing.